home edition of Today in Nashville. Kelly, Sutton and Carole Sullivan. I'm glad you had your glasses on for a second. I didn't know if you were going to go glasses or no glasses today.
Well, I basically need these all the time now. It started with when I needed to do this. So
Right.
I'm using them a lot, and my kids are asking if they can go do things. So I'm texting other people, see if they can do things.
Yeah, you're the cruise ship director. You're the homeschool mom. You're the working mom. You're the cafeteria lady. Okay, so another person that's on the show today is a friend of mine, Maria Ivey, and she has done a cookbook. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. So, I've known Maria for a long time because she is a publicist in town, and she represents so many different people. Works very closely with Willie Nelson and the Luck reunion that he does every year at his ranch. And during this downtime, she said, we have to come up with something. What can I be doing that would be creative? And she started thinking about a cookbook, but she was really kind of drawn to, remember the cookbooks that your mom has, like the spiral bound that came from either your church or it was the community cookbook, and it was just everybody's favorite recipes written out in those spiral bound notebooks. She did that, and it's all of these amazing recipes from like Emmylou Harris and some of the most prominent country stars. They sent in their favorites and she put them together, and it's called All the Time, THYME, in the world.
Wow, what a fun thing to do. And when people submit recipes, especially in the old school back in the day, your name was attached to that. So you would want to send in your very best recipe. That's why those cookbooks are always sought after, because there's, someone took some time to think of what they were submitting, and it's a good one.
Absolutely. And you know what else is really funny when you say that, the submission? It reminds me of when we went to Southern Living and they told us about trying to find who started the hummingbird cake. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And it was a whole they were detectives trying to figure out where it started, where it came from.
That was a really, really cool trip. For those of you that don't know, WSMV is owned by the Meredith Corporation. Meredith Corporation owns basically every magazine out there, and Southern Living being one of them. That Southern Living's on all platforms now. I mean, YouTube and Instagram and all the things. But we went down to the Southern Living headquarters and got an incredible sneak peek of behind the scenes in their prop rooms and in their test kitchens. The test kitchen was what I really wanted to see. I thought that was amazing. We went into the liquor closet too. They've got that because they got to use it sometimes in recipes. It was really fun.
To me, I think the prop room was incredible too, because it was row after row after row of every piece of amazing glass that your grandmother or great grandmother or aunt or uncle had in their home. I mean, it was like walking down memory lane every time, every aisle. It was incredible. So cool. So speaking of which, I stumbled upon an estate sale. Basically, it was a garage sale, but it was the whole house. And I was out running. And so I went home and got a mask and gloves and came back. I was like, I'm going in. Kelly, I'm so excited. I got a vintage Pyrex bowl. Beautiful. It's got a spout for $1.80. $1.80. Okay. I'm really happy that we got on this talk right now because, estate sales are my jam. So 2 things that I got. One thing, which was, we didn't need it, but I'm a sucker for bags. They had a duffel bag that came from Augusta National Golf Course, which is where they have the Masters every year. So there's a whole thing about, you can buy certain things at the Masters. It says the Masters, but there are only a few things that you can get at Augusta National if you get invited to play there or you're a member. And this duffel bag came from the actual pro shop. So, and it's old, but it's in pristine condition. So I got that. And then
it didn't smell smelly.
No, not at all. Not surprisingly, not at all. And then the second thing I got that I have to go pick up today, in fact, Paul's looking at me from behind the camera like, what did she buy?
The bedroom set. Well, it's gonna be great.
It'll
You're
be
gonna love
fine.
it.
It'll be fine. It is a filing cabinet, but it's an old wooden filing cabinet with some really cool drawers. I mean, it was probably, say, 1940s, 1950s wooden filing cabinet that's going to go in my office.
Is it a filing where it's deep, or is it the small, like, Aeropostale, small little drawers?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like the one from Friends. Remember that was the...
No, I can't remember that.
You don't remember that? There was like this apothecary table that was in Friends.
Apothecary, that's what it is.
And,
yes,
and
you.
Rachel lied and said it was a one of a kind, and Phoebe found out it actually came from like Pier 1 or something.
Pottery Barn.
Pottery Barn, that was it. It kind of, no, it's not that fancy, but it is something fun. So the estate sales are my jam. We're going to have to do an estate sale together. That will be a good segment. Once we can actually like do more fun stuff together, we're going to go do that.
I'm not sure Paul's going to be keen on that now that he knows that furniture is in the game of this thing. And does this smell? Some of those wood things can be a little smelly. Did you give it the smell test?
No, I didn't give the smell test. I'll just wipe it down with some Murphy's oil soap. It'll be fine. Listen,
Fine.
Nothing smells about this show. We have an amazing show that's on tap. There's nothing stinky about it. So stay tuned because there's more of Today in Nashville right after this.